Hey, it's Hannah, and today's video is going to be my January plan with me video, and I just can't believe it's already the beginning of a new year, but I am so excited to break in my new journal. So with that being said, let's get planning. I am so excited to be making my first monthly spread in my new journal, and I always like to start off the month with a quote that relates to the theme. And this month I chose the quote, "Stop wishing, start doing," as motivation for 2020, and it fits in really well with my dandelion / wish theme for January. I kept the title clean and simple by just writing out January in my fine liner and boxing it off, and so that the page wasn't empty, I added a bunch of dandelion doodles that are super easy to draw, and I just really love the way that this entire spread turned out. I usually try to mix up the type of calendar I make each month because I'm still not sure what works best for me, so this month I decided not to make boxes and only do lines to hopefully allow more space to write, and I was pleasantly surprised with how much I really like the way that this calendar looks. I used a brush pen to write out the days of the week, and I kind of messed up on Sunday, but was able to use my white gel pen to fix it. I didn't want this theme to only be black and white, so I used a light blue Tombow brush pen to accent all of the spreads, and on the right I made a goals and highlights section for January, and also added color to number the days with and to tie the entire theme together, I added a couple more doodles. With it being the new year, I really wanted to focus on maintaining my good habits, so I made a simple habit tracker, and at the top I just wrote out habits in my fine liner, and underneath that I wrote tracker and added the blue accent. For January, I am only tracking 6 habits, so I wrote down a list of my habits, and on the right side of that I just numbered 1 through 31 for all the days in January, and it still left a lot of space at the bottom of the page, so I filled that in with way more dandelions. On the next page, I made a budget tracker to help me save money since this is a big goal for me this year, so I kept the header at the top the same as the habit tracker, and right under that I made a spot for my starting balance for this month, and below that I made a small box for my recurring payments that is already factored into my spending. And lastly, I made a bigger box for additional expenses that includes the date, the product, or where it's from, the amount, and a running total. it looked kind of bare, so I added blue lines in every other row for my expenses and added more doodles. Another goal I have for myself this year is to make my journal more fun, so this month I am adding a playlist spread for all of the songs I've been loving or just recently discovered. So at the top I hand-lettered the word playlist, and below that I wrote out January and added a line to kind of frame it. And then I made 12 boxes for the songs and left enough room at the bottom of the page for the cheesy quote, "New year, new music," just because I thought it fit really well. And this page kind of looks like it doesn't match with the rest of my theme, so I went back in later and added some light blue drop shadows. The next page is my much needed brain dump spread. I like to keep it simple, so in the bottom I drew a few more dandelions just to fit into the theme, and then I outlined the page and added a little squiggle in the top right and wrote brain dump right inside of it. And lastly, I made my first weekly spread of the year. I really just wanted to keep it simple and have a lot of space to write, so I started with some small dandelions, then just wrote out the days of the week over 2 pages and split up the space for the weekend so they all fit together. And I wanted to keep the spreads even, so I went in and doodled some more. And to tie the entire theme together, I added some blue lines to fully separate the days and make the page pop. And this is everything for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it, and please make sure to subscribe and stick around for more.